happens, my pack? What happens when you mix the Dragon Ball franchise with a little bit of heavy metal? What do you get? I'm talking to you. What do you get? You get Tyrant Falls. What's good, everybody? M.V.K here. Welcome back to Indie Showcase. You know the slogan. Indie Showcase. The showcase where I, your host, M.V.K, review indie comic books from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows and everything around. And today we're reviewing Tyrant Fall #1. This was a book that I backed on Kickstarter, and that's a nice cover, right? Pretty cool cover. So yes, basically the Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball franchise mixed with heavy metal. Wasn't much of a heavy metal magazine reader, but I read a few, so I get it. This was created by C. Brayton Knight and Max Davenport. Mr. Knight or Mrs. I'm assuming that you're male or girl. If male or female, I apologize. But this was good stuff. And what are we're gonna talk about this. So, what is Tyrant Fall? Tyrant Fall is takes place in a universe where they showcase the bad guy more often. The bad guy is this woman right there. The bad guy, her name is the Red Dragon, and she's very powerful. And she seems to have the power of a dragon to a degree. And she sits up in her tower, but when she wants to come down and beat up on the peasants and things like that, she does it. And she rules with an iron fist. And there's even points where there's like laws against magic and things like that, and she has no problem killing. She does it with ease, and she does it with a smile. She doesn't care. She will just rip, blow, burn, make an example out of those who stand up to her. And she does that in one scene where she kills an elderly man, but lets her granddaughter and her mother go. And it is there you kind of get the pinpoint of who is going to play the upstart protagonist in this. And her name, I want to make sure I get her name, because I want to get the name of the character who becomes like the I'm forgetting her name right now, but she is by far the kind of the protagonist, and her name is can't remember her name. Myrta. So Matea, I think that's how you say her name. So because she comes back with help years later with rebels to deal with the Red Dragon, and each member of her team has a different ability, or each one of her teammates have a specialty. They're rebels, and so let me show you what they are. So we have, here she is with her rebels, her rebel friends. They knew it coming into this. This was going to be like a suicide mission. So basically, we have Kanta, who is a bandit, as she says, a bandit, overconfident with power he doesn't yet possess, and a clan he doesn't yet rule. August Goa, who is a former circus performer, still seeking the spotlight. He believes he is owed. Next one is Shalak. He's a shaman who he's like a shaman, and I love what she says. A shaman distant from reality by their constant communication with spirits of magic. Then we have Quartier, who is a techno monk. I like that. Techno monk, afraid the AI entity he's bonded with still attempts to dominate his body. So this is basically, it's sword and sorcery mixed with magic, technology. I would say also you can kind of throw in a little bit of He-Man in there, Masters of the Universe, because that's how Eternia is. It's sorcery, it's magic, it's technology. So that, that's kind of, also throw that in there too. And so they band together to deal with the Red Dragon, but all doesn't go well. They knew that from the start that it was going to be not that it wasn't going to go well. But they did. As the narrator is saying, Matea didn't know how bad it was going to get, because almost everyone, all of those men I just mentioned, they die. I'm gonna spoil that for you. They die. The Red Dragon kills her, except for Matea. Matea is able to escape, but Matea is looked at as being the strongest out of them. She enhanced herself as well. So there's one point where you see them just fighting as one and beating the Red Dragon in a fight. And they fighting as one and it worked. And then that's where shit hits the fan. But outside of that, the Red Dragon is loving, like she wants to continue to fight Matea. She's like, I like you, like come on, like fight me more. And it's like, oh my god, like she's almost like, I'm reading this, I'm like, is she getting off on fighting her? And Matea is just angry. She's just like, I did all this, you killed you killed my mother, you killed my grandfather, and the Red Dragon is almost, you would think, the Red Dragon be like, I remember you. No, she's like, I knew this felt personal, like, and she doesn't remember her. So, to a protagonist, to a degree, that would piss you off. Like, you don't remember me? Like, you don't remember what you did? To a degree, that would. You would get a little upset. Like, you don't remember what you did? So, but in the meantime, Matea is able to escape, but she's also to escape with someone else. I won't spoil that because that's interesting to these beings that are a part of this world. I won't spoil that. But this was a good start. It gave you clear cut who is the bad guy, why it's called Tyrant Fall. Because the Red Dragon is a tyrant. She is a tyrant, and a very scary tyrant. And there are people that want to see her fall, and they've tried. And it looks like Matea may be the one, but she has to get stronger, because even one of her teammates, the techno monk, he even says it like, you're not even at your full potential yet. And that's where the whole Dragon Ball idea comes in. I'm like, yeah, there you go. Now, because as I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, where's the Dragon Ball element? And I'm like, there it is. And I read that, I'm like, there it is. And that techno monk was interesting, because I'm like, when she's talking to him at the end, she's like, Quarter, is that you? And he's like, no, it's not Quarter, it's that AI entity now talking for it. Like, I was like, oh, okay. And things like that. It was really good. This was fun. This was good fun. The artwork was good. The writing was solid. It got right to the point of who you're supposed to be rooting for and who you are supposed to be against. It was good. This was good stuff. Mr. Knight or Mrs. Knight, like I said, I believe you're male. If you're not, I apologize. And Mr. Davenport, this was good stuff. I enjoyed this. I look forward to reading more of this because this was issue number 1. I don't think issue 2 is out. I'll keep my eye out whenever I get a bing on my email from Kickstarter saying, yeah, the issue number 2 is up now, live on Kickstarter. You best believe I'm gonna be checking it out. But this was fun. Tyrant Fall. I was about to say Titanfall, but Tyrant Fall. Number 1. So that is it for this review, guys. What did you think? Did you like it? If you read it, tell me what you thought about it. If you haven't, I will leave the link in the description down below for where you can read it for yourself. Purchase it for yourself and check it out. But with that being said, thank you for watching as always. I'm your host, M.V.K, Christopher Bennett, saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. What are we? Damn it, I keep saying that. What are we? We are comic readers. We are comic geeks. Never be ashamed of what you are. Never be ashamed of reading comics. I'm not. 30 years. I've never been ashamed of it. Never. I will continue to. At the end of the day, I know what I am. I know what I am. Y'all take care. Deuces.